Good morning and welcome to today's video edition of the Viral Times. Guess what day it is? It is, of course, the feast day of St George. The alleged mighty dragon slayer was in fact likely to have been a soldier from Palestine who was martyred in Lydda, not Lyd, but Lydda, in about the year 304. George is also patron saint of agricultural workers, farmers, field workers, soldiers, archers, armourers, equestrians, cavalry, saddle makers, chivalry, skin diseases, lepers, syphilis, sheep and shepherds, as well as more countries than you can shake a stick at. So, if you are an English, Brazilian, Russian, Bulgarian or Lebanese horse-riding shepherd who has their eye in with a bow and arrow and suffers from leprosy, then today is a very special day for you. Now then, prior to George being adopted as the patron saint of England, the honour went to Edward the Confessor. Today in Viral Times we have lots in store for you, from drain pipes to little gems, and from famous grouse to rainbows. It's all here. So, hold on to something firm and have a wonderful day, because here we go. And we're straight in to begin with to Thought for the Day. Our reading this morning comes from John chapter 15, verses 18 to 21. Jesus said, "If the world hates you, be aware that it hated me before it hated you. If you belong to the world would love you as its own. Because you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, servants are not greater than their master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you. If they kept my word, they will keep yours also. But they will do all these things to you on account of my name, because they do not know him who sent me." Half a dozen times in that passage, Jesus mentions the world. The world in question, from Jesus' perspective, was not the pagan world, the world of Greek and Roman culture, Caesar's world. It was the world in which he was born and lived, the world of Galilee and Jerusalem, of the Galileans and Judeans. It was the world of Abraham's children, people who were studying the law of Moses. It was the world which thought of itself as God's people. This was the world that looked at Jesus, at what he was doing, that listened to what he was saying, and that said, "No, thank you." This was the world that saw the blind man healed and remained blind itself. This was the world that saw Lazarus raised to life and decided it would be safer to kill Jesus off properly, because otherwise people might believe in him. So what does the world in which we live most immediately, the world of Tenterden, think of Jesus? Does the world here think of him as a threat or as someone to hate? Not judging by the way in which the local church is welcomed into the life of the community and by the community. But even if the opposite were true, what we do know is this, that we are called to live consistently for this Jesus, even if only quietly, allowing the witness of our daily honesty and integrity, our love and gentleness to speak for itself. Now, the next item in Viral Times is printed in lurid pink, which means it's really good news, and that's because the church magazine is about to arrive. So, from later today, copies of the magazine will be available from St Mildreds Church Porch, St Michael's Church Porch, and from the village stores in St Michael's. Now, we're also going to deliver magazines with the paper edition of the Viral Times. We thank Hugh Crouch very much indeed for putting together this edition of the magazine, and our faithful band of distributors for getting it out there. So well done to all of you, and thank you. Please don't leave any money in the church porches. Save it, earn a bit of interest, and then settle up when we're all together again. Now, to be on the safe side, we suggest that distributors and individuals wanting a magazine, perhaps it's safer if you come to the church porches on Friday, because then the magazines will definitely be in place. Now, calling all budding novelists, we would like to write a novel. And when we say we don't mean us here in the bunker. We mean we as in all of us together. We here in the bunker will write the opening paragraph, which will then be sent to the next person on a list. The gradually unfolding story will make its way to other people in turn, who will add their paragraphs. The length of the story will depend on the number of people participating. Now then, if you would like to be the author of a paragraph, please do get in touch, and then we will begin. We will then create, amending a phrase uttered by the immortal Edmund Blackadder, a huge roller coaster of a novel in 400 sizzling chapters, a searing indictment of life under the virus in the 21st century, with some hot gypsies thrown in. Or maybe something a little modest. Or more modest than that. Right, from art and culture to your ubend, although not strictly the case, because this is about art and your ubend. In Viral Times, today we publish the third example of Tom Bob's wonderful street art, through which he is reshaping the world, or his bit of Australia, by transforming common objects in the urban landscape. There are a handful of photographs still to come. Do have a look at it, because the one in Viral Times today, because like its predecessors, it's a wonderful piece of creativity. And so too as sick as a parrot, because here is the next clue in Rob and Jean Eastow's bird quiz. And the clue is, two words, 5 letters per word, you get this for coming last. You get this for coming last. The solution to each clue includes the name of a bird, and the answer to yesterday's is famous grouse. Now, Rob and June, or Jean, to give Rob the correct name of his wife, Rob and Jean's quiz gets harder and harder as we go along. So if you're having trouble now, then there really is little hope for you. Margaret's been in touch, Margaret Royland, she of the shoes, teeth in, Margaret Royland, she of the shoes. And she writes, as I sit and look at the housework that needs doing, and the word tomorrow comes to my brain, I am reminded of a wonderful piece of advice. Quote, you may comment on my dust, but please don't write in it. Close quotes. What would you write in Margaret's Dust? Answers on a postcard or by email. Now, a little update on Helping in Tenterden, which is going great guns. You may know that Helping in Tenterden was set up about a month ago, in quite a rush really, in response to the outbreak of the coronavirus. Now, we have 200 plus volunteers, and they are very eager to respond to requests for help with collecting shopping or prescriptions, or indeed a request for a listening ear. Now, in the 4 weeks that have elapsed since the setting up of HIT, as we call it, volunteers have responded to some 437 requests for assistance. So that's terrific. Well done, and thank you to all our HIT volunteers. Now, you may remember the story of Joan's Jar of Joy. The story concerned Joan Philps, who received a jar of joy from her family, who visited Joan on her birthday and left the jar behind as a surprise. Now, there's a lovely photograph in Viral Times of Joan holding the jar. The jar contains lots of folded pieces of paper, and on the pieces of paper, Joan's family have written some really lovely messages, which have brought great joy to Joan, or Joan to joy, joy to Joan, as each day Joan takes out one of the pieces of paper and reads the message, as she's doing in the photograph. Now, Tony Shaw has been in touch with a question, and the question is this, and we'd be grateful to know the answer. Does anyone know if we can take showers yet, or should we just keep washing our hands? Well, do let us know what you think, and particularly if you are living with somebody who has only washed their hands in the last 4 weeks. Right, now we come to two little gems. That was such a good fanfare. Can we have that again? Wait for it. Roll of drums. Today is a very special day for two absolute diamonds in our community, for Dick and Joyce Warren celebrate their 60th wedding anniversary. We send them our heartiest congratulations and our very best wishes, and raise a glass here in the Corona bunker in their honour. Now, we have a beautifully decorated candelabra, and I'm going to light 3 candles. This stand, this candelabra, is one we use for weddings here at... I'm going to have to stand up because I'm too short to see the wick. Is there a wick? Oh, yes, there is a wick. Bear with me. I'm almost as bad as Jeanette at lighting candles. Right, now this stand we use at weddings here at St Mildreds, and at St Michael's and at St John's. So it's very appropriate that we have taken out the candelabra, and we are using it to celebrate Dick and Joyce's wedding anniversary. So I'm going to hold this glass of wine, and I'm going to read to you a little ditty that we have composed in their honour. Through this little verse we travel back to a day that was blessed with love, when Dick and Joyce came to be wed and blessed by the God above. And since that time, throughout 60 years, to each other they've been true. And now, Dick and Joyce, on this day of days, we raise a diamond toast to you. A very happy anniversary to the two of you, and our heartfelt congratulations. Cheers. Now then, don't get your hopes up, which is a rather sad title to follow the previous item with, but this refers to a cartoon which Keith Vazani has sent us. You'll have to go on to Viral Times to appreciate it, really. The cartoon features a family back in church, and Dad has a thought bubble emanating from his head, and in the bubble are the words, "I'm glad we are able to attend church again, but I do miss being able to fast forward and mute." Well, it seems that our church wardens are exploring the appropriate technology with indecent haste, but we won't feel threatened here in the Corona bunker, because we have every confidence that you'll want us back live and as we were before. And now to a musical interlude. The Friends of St Mildred's have been hard at work during lockdown to come up with a means of helping us to keep our spirits up. Behind the scenes, Jeremy Cooper has contacted some of the many people who have performed for Friends of St Mildred's events, and has managed to enlist some top performers to record exclusively for us. The first performance by Joanna Gutowska will be beamed to you on Saturday. We're going to send it out with Viral Times, and I think it will be on the website too. Now, Joanna is part of the Bukolinka trio, who played a magnificent concert in St Mildreds Church last year. If anyone is interested in becoming a friend of St Mildreds, please do contact Jeremy at jdennisoncooper1@outlook.com. Go on to Viral Times and you'll see Jeremy's email address printed there. And I think, and I understand, that the Friends of St Mildreds are threatening to release a compilation video of Tim Monkton's votes of thanks. Well, we'll look forward to receiving that in due course. Now, are you there? Are you there? Over the last 35 issues of Viral Times, which started off life as the Bulletin, we have been very lucky to hear from a wide range of people in our congregations here in Tenterden, St Michael's and Smallhithe. We've also seen many of you at our Zoom services. However, there are some people we haven't heard from or seen at all. So today we would like to encourage those people to get in touch, not necessarily to be published, but just to let us know you are still there. Let us know how you are, and if you do have a message to send out to the wider world, then do let us know. So if you haven't been in touch, just send us a brief message, because we'd like to know that you are all okay. Scrolling down, we reach a photograph of Rupert Harvey, fresh from hospital, celebrating his 85th birthday. That was earlier this week on the 21st of April. And we are in need of help, because we would like to make and hang some rainbow symbols from the top of St Mildred's Tower. Rainbows have popped up all around the community, and we'd like to do our bit and add 3 to the tower, excluding the side which bears the cross, to make that symbol of hope more visible. So we've been in touch with a master woodworker, but we need paint. Here in the bunker, we only have Battleship Grey. So do you have paint in any of the following colours? And I think the rhyme to help us remember rainbow colours is Richard of York gave battle in vain, something like that. So that means then that we're after red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. So if you've got any paint to spare in those colours, do let us know. And so to today's prayers. Today we are praying for all who live in Ox Lane, Springfield Avenue, Barnfield and Henley View. We're praying for Dick and Joyce Warren on their diamond wedding anniversary. We're praying for Janelle Wood, Jane Isworth and Laura, nurses that we know about who are caring for those with COVID-19. And we're remembering too James Roylance, who is a paramedic with the Kent Ambulance Service. Now, all those people are, of course, in a sense, representative of a greater body of people, all the medical teams on the front line to whom we owe a great deal. So we pray for them too. We remember Neil Pillay, Francis Sherwood, Alan Hutchinson, Tom Bourne, Nigel East, Joe Marlowe Barham, Brian Parkin, and all in need. We remember all affected by the coronavirus, and especially today, those struggling with mental illness in their isolation. We entrust into God's care and keeping all who have died recently, among them Martin Clifton, Elizabeth Hollier, Kathleen Austin, Roland Cordery, Ken Service, Doreen Daniels, Peter Wales and Sue Stone. And we remember too all who miss them. The Lord bless us and keep us. The Lord make his face to shine upon us and be gracious to us. The Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon us and give us peace. Amen. And so to our website worship. Today on the website you'll find prayer during the day, and to accompany that, an order of service has been sent out with today's issue of the Viral Times. Also on the website today will be night prayer, and the text of this service you can find via the Church of England website, and the link you need for that appears in Viral Times. Now remember then that Viral Times goes out in a paper edition, which gets delivered to some 60 households around the town. It goes out in this video format, but to get the full effect you need to look at the video because you see us, and you also need to look at the emailed version which goes out each day. So if you're not receiving your emailed Viral Times, then let us know and we'll be glad to send it to you. Finally, contact points. The usual contact points are there. Refuge for women and children against domestic violence. There's a 24-hour national domestic abuse helpline for you. There's Helping in Tenterden and its phone number 01580 761 060 for the collection of shopping and prescriptions, and then a whole raft of people who are simply itching to be of help. So please don't think you are ever alone. You're only a phone call or an email away from assistance, and so don't hesitate to call. Finally then, please remember, keep safe, keep praying, and keep connected. Thank you.